Yo, what's up, guys? Been like a week since I've posted a video. This is like attempt number 3,441 of this video. I'm losing the plot, guys. I am becoming overcritical of unedited content. I can just edit then. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. I am just tweaking, and I just ended another one. I'm like, oh, this is gonna definitely be the right take. And then I like stuttered on the second ability, and I'm like, nope, we gotta restart. Bro, this is the final take. This is it, or I'm quitting YouTube. I'm just kidding. I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm so excited for the next update. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I said yes to something for a Warframe I don't really generally care about too much, but I have fallen in love with this Warframe through it, but I just don't never felt knowledgeable enough to post this. So, like, in my own head, I'm just like, oh, bro, I'm not, this is gonna be not good enough. But hopefully, at this point, it is good enough because I don't know, bro. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Got a couple things to say before we start the video. We have a giveaway going on right now for a Forma bundle that ends tomorrow, 16 hours. If you guys don't get in on this, no stress. I will be doing a Forma bundle giveaway every single week with more interesting ones with YouTube milestones and Discord milestones. We'll probably do one when we hit the 100 member count in the Discord server. And who knows, we might do some extra other stuff. We already got 15 people in this. I really appreciate you guys for being patient with me and all the kind messages on YouTube, on Discord. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best on this video and on the Saw video. I just said yes to two things that were really big projects that I wasn't extremely passionate about. But this needs to come out. Like, I am passionate about this Warframe now, but I'm like overcritical in myself, like thinking the video is just gonna be trash, so I just keep restarting it. But you know, bro, we ball. We ball. Let's get into Equinox though. Sorry for like the little trauma dump there, guys. Sorry for the little trauma dump. Equinox, according to Warframe, complexity 5 on warframe.com/game/warframe/Equinox Prime or regular Equinox. We've got complexity of 5 and their support. This is true. They are support. Let's look at what other classes, though, there are. Support, crowd control, stealth, survival damage. Here's the interesting thing. You can kind of do all these with Equinox. You can kind of do all these. So, uh, I mean, same goes for a lot of Warframes. So, I don't know. I think this website's kind of fake. Also, the complexity being a 5 is just like, okay, the Warframe's really outdated, but that doesn't mean the Warframe's complex. It really kind of isn't. That's just because the values are portrayed in a way that is just terrible. The information you have in game just isn't good and cannot nearly match what the wiki can tell you or what a person who actually knows how the Warframe works can tell you. Because there's so much stuff I just wouldn't know that the wiki wouldn't tell me about Duality. Which, okay, let's say some stuff real quick, guys. This is a deep dive video. This is a deep dive video. I said I was going to do 2 Equinox videos. I said I was going to do like a Duality deep dive. And I just said it, I'm like, okay, bro, we should just do a Equinox deep dive. This is going to be a Equinox deep dive. We are going to go very deep into Duality towards the end of the video, explaining what we're aiming for and what the best thing to aim for is with it. But I'm not going to go like as crazy as I was going to at first because I'm really not the best person to explain that. I think I can give more insight than a lot of YouTube videos have given so far. And there's not really been anything on it since Contagious Spawn was an option to buff this and stuff like Summoner's Wrath. So, I mean, without further ado, let's just get into the video. Okay, guys, Equinox. How would I describe Equinox? Well, you've got a day form, you got a night form. The way you access this is with your first ability. Your day form is going to give you damage, vulnerability that is multiplicative, as a multiplier, like a separate multiplier, uh, for your damage. It's going to speed up enemies. And your 3 is going to buff ability strength on nearby allies on their ability cast. And your 4 is going to build up damage that you do to then be released as a nuke. Your night form Your 2 is now going to put enemies to sleep. Your 3 is going to be the most scuffed form of damage reduction in this entire game that I'm going to do my best to explain, but I'm not going to be able to do it justice because I don't even understand what the wiki's saying. Because what it's saying, I feel like I don't see in game. That's okay. And the 4 does something really cool. Shield on kill. That's like literally my favorite thing about Styanak. So once I figured that out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this frame. So yeah, but that's kind of like a simple way of describing the abilities. So let's kind of get into it deeper now. As you guys can see, day form is like DPS, whereas night form is survivability. Okay. First ability, Metamorphosis. This doesn't matter. Those are fragments of the last recording. First ability, Disregard. Passive. Passive is bad equilibrium. But guess what? It does stack with equilibrium and purple shards. So it's not entirely useless. You can see this 10%, equilibrium gives 110%. So this is like not even doing a tenth of what this is doing. So not great, but it's going to always be doing something. And I'm not going to say it's going to make or break your build. Like but it's helpful. It can be helpful for the energy, and it allowed me to just run 1 purple shard. But I'm not going to say that 10% is what's allowing that to happen. I probably could just run 1 purple shard anyways. Okay, that's the passive. On to the first ability. The first ability is really nice. So the first ability is going to give you decaying buffs from when you cast it. When you go into the night form, you're going to get decaying armor bonus and a decaying shield capacity bonus. That is going to last for the duration that is up top right, and it's going to slowly decay as the ability's up. You can see my body kind of like pulsating. Whereas the day form is going to give you additive duration style damage buff, though the ability description would not make you think so, but it is additive, and it is duration style. Damage buff to your weapons, 25% base. All of these stats are moddable by ability strength. And it is going to give you a movement speed buff that also is going to decay. So there you go. Pretty cool. I guess that's nice. It's going to encourage you to be switching through your forms more frequently. Base kit, that might make you want to explode, but with augments that are in the game that Band-Aid fix this Warframe, it becomes something that is like less of a problem and more of something that you just get to do, and you get to take advantage of some of these buffs. So that's the first ability. I mean, I'm not going to go too much deeper. We can talk about what the wiki says about it, but I think that's a pretty good description. On to the second ability. Second ability, in the day form, is called Rage. Rage is going to speed up enemies and give them a multiplicative, like separate multiplier, damage boost. And it's damage vulnerability. Pretty awesome sauce. It is a radial cast. So you're going to be cast on the first enemy, and then from that first enemy, it's going to be like a 5-meter radius. So you can see the guys around him will get affected. So like if I cast on this guy, it's going to affect guys within 5 meters of that. Now, by default, that doesn't seem very great, but don't worry, there is a way to fix that by modding range and by using an augment. You're going to hear a way to fix that is by using an augment a lot in this video, because this Warframe is the most outdated piece of shit of all time. I don't care, bro. This frame requires 3 augments, I feel like bare minimum on every single build, and I'm really tired of it. I'm really tired of it. This frame needs a little touch-up desperately. Like, we need to make... Okay, first off, we need to make energy conversion default for the 3 and the 4. That's all. I mean, but we can't keep going into this. Okay, let's go into the second again. Sorry. Okay, so in the night form, this is rest now, no longer rage. I'm raging, bro. I'm ranting. Rest, same deal, except it's going to put enemies to sleep, and when you damage them, based off of a threshold, you are going to be able to, like, wake them up. Pretty cool, I guess. You can take advantage of whatever status they were in prior to keep them. You can use this to take advantage of stealth damage multipliers, and you can also use this to open up enemies for finishers, which is pretty cool. Uh, that's kind of it, but let's talk about how the day form scales with certain stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to like whip out the Phantasma there. Phantasma jump scare. Day form with buffs is really incredible. So let's just like hypothetically throw on a bunch of buffs here with some range. And you can see we're getting a 60% speed increase on the enemies, 7.25 meter radius on whoever I initially cast it on now. We can go even larger. Look, now it's like 11.75, which is like awesome. So that's going to affect a ton of enemies on when I initially cast it. And something you're going to notice with this Warframe, pretty much every single ability this Warframe has is like a single hand cast animation, or it's like a really fast cast, so it's really nice. Even without a casting speed shard. The only thing that's kind of weird is Mend and Maim. When you initially trigger this is going to like kind of make you want a casting speed shard. But yeah, this is generally really nice. And you're also seeing like crazy high multiplicative damage there. 119%. That's really good. Really good. And you have what with this 47% speed boost. Let's show off what that looks like real quick. And look, you can this is a noticeable speed buff. So that's really incredible. Now let's incorporate the augment into this, which is what I believe the Band-Aid fix is to this ability, which should be base kit. Or something similar. Okay. Common Frenzy. Rest and Rage Augment. Killing an affected enemy causes the effect to spread to enemies within 5 meters for 100% of their remaining duration. That duration stat is not moddable. It's not like you can get more duration on them. But what is moddable is the radius. So it is the exact same radius as the base. So for every enemy you kill, it's just going to like recast the ability on them with whatever duration you have remaining, which is really awesome. So let's kind of show what that looks like. Look, it's basically already on every single enemy, which is kind of a problem. But basically what's going to happen is when I kill this enemy, it's going to spread that effect onto more enemies. So let's kind of show what that looks like with a little bit less range. So this is a little less confusing as to what's occurring here. Let's pause enemies too. Uh-oh. Here we go. So we're going to cast on this guy here. Now, when I kill this enemy right here, you see this guy's unaffected. But if I kill this guy, now I'm going to spread to these guys. Kill this guy, you can spread to the guys around them. And it's so on and so on and so on and so on. And it chains. Multiplicative damage, spreading movement speed to these enemies. Really awesome. You can't really get movement speed in other ways for Warframes. I mean, there's like Nova, and I think there's one other way. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm sure someone can tell me in the comments, but it's really nice. It's cool. It buffs enemies' movement speed, so pretty cool. Really cool augment. That's that augment out of the way. You know what I didn't show? I already didn't show Duality. You know what, guys? We're just going to save Duality for the very end. We're just going to skip over Duality, and then we're just going to, like... there's going to be a whole segment on Duality anyways in this video. I don't really want to show Duality, like, 2 times, so just skip to the segment for Duality if you just want to see that, and you want to skip all the rest of this stuff. So, onto the goofy, very goofy third ability. Oh, also, on let's talk a little bit more about Rest. Rest is, like, cool for conservation. This can be really nice for, like, putting a bunch of Kavats to sleep at once. You can cast it on them, and if you have high range, you'll, like, sleep the whole group, and you'll get, like, perfect score on all of them. I guess that's nice. In actual gameplay, I personally have found it to be more annoying than useful. But to each their own. If you like it, you like it. I don't, personally. I also don't really like that it's not affected by, like, any stat ever, so... yeah, I mean, duration and range, but it's not like it's doing anything else other than sleeping them and opening them up for finishers and all that stuff, but it's not like that stuff is being buffed by... like, this would be cool if it buffed your finisher damage as well on those selected enemies, but it's not doing that. Or if it reset their alert level, but it doesn't do that either, so, yeah. Onto one of the weirdest abilities in the game, Pacify and Provoke. So this is a channeled ability, but it's like not. This is we're going to actually use the wiki. It's going to tell you right here, despite being a channeled ability, this does not interrupt energy generation from Energy Siphon, Energy Nexus, Dreamer's Bond, Wellspring, and is unaffected by ability duration. So this doesn't matter because your fourth is a channel ability and it's a normal channel ability, but if you were to subsume off your fourth for some reason and you wanted to take advantage of those things I just told you, I guess that's like a thing. But it doesn't matter because you're going to pretty much always have your fourth up, and as you can see, that's like a real channeled ability, and that is going to not have this little additional effect that this one has. So the reason why this one works like this is because this is based off of enemy affected or ally affected. So, because we're in night form, let's talk about the night form. No, we're in day forms. Because we're in the day form, let's talk about the day form first. So this is Provoke. Enemies that are, allies that are within this radius, and when they cast abilities, including you, are going to consume energy, and you are going to buff their ability strength. It's really cool. This is just like outdated and kind of weird because it's not like, I don't know. It's okay. What's outdated and weird, I guess, is, sorry, I'm yawning, is Pacify. Bro, Pacify is gotta be the biggest piece of BS of all time. Guys, I'm gonna try to explain this. So, it's like dropping off damage reduction that by default is 50%, but you can like, oh, I'm yawning. You can mod this to like absurd levels. Like, yo, transient fortitude. This. What else, bro? What else? We got. Shoot, I see power drift. Where's maxed out power drift? Bang. So, dude, that's got us at like 85%. I'm sure it probably caps out at 90. If you guys want to figure that out, bro, have fun reading this because I'm not here to provide this knowledge, unfortunately, guys. I am a terrible YouTuber. Guys, I literally don't know what I'm reading here. It's probably right in front of my face, but I'm having a full-on stroke reading this. Like, I don't know what's going. It says there's like second rings, third rings. I don't see other rings. You guys see other rings? Are the other rings in like the room with us, bro? Because I don't see them, dude. I don't see other rings. Like, I don't see rings further out. I don't know how this works. It's bad. First off, it's just bad. Like, if you want to use it for shield tanking, I guess sure. Like, if you want to go for a full night form version, be my guest. As you guys can see, it's going to drain more energy based off of how many enemies you're standing near. Whereas if I walk away, not draining any energy. But now if I like spawn in like a full group and I go stand near them, it's going to absolutely evaporate my energy. So yeah, and don't worry guys, I've got 50% damage reduction that falls off or something. So I don't know. This is slop, bro. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I'm sorry guys. I'm sure there's someone that can actually explain this on YouTube. That person is not me. This is above my pay grade. Let's get on to the fourth. The fourth is interesting. The fourth is really interesting. We're gonna talk specifically about... I'm yawning so much. Okay, we're gonna talk specifically about the fourth for day here first. So, the fourth for day is called Maim. Maim is really interesting. It is going to build up damage that you do to enemies. This is not the damage number you see. It's how much HP the enemies have in total. So, if you have a weapon that can kill at level cap, that enemy, like, that damage can be stored. But, like, against 150s, let's see how I can show this off. So, I'm sorry, guys. This is so bad at explaining stuff. So, like, here's, like, a level 1 enemy. Okay? If I walk over to them, here's the first issue. The slash radius, the slash aura that the 4 has when you walk into people, is just killing him right now. But you can see up top right, 7,500, okay? And that was on level 1 enemies, okay? So now if I press it, if I spawn in level 215s, and I go over to these guys, and I build up damage, you're going to see it's actually taking the damage I did to the enemy's health. Something to notice. This damage falls off. And also, you're going to think 1 million damage. I am yawning again. What you're going to think 1 million damage is just going to kill everything. Not true. That's because enemies have armor. And there's fall off, and there's about a billion other things. But because enemies have armor, this isn't something you can just spam unless you have something to strip armor. A common thing people like doing is subsuming off the 1, putting on an armor strip ability, killing like 3 enemies with like a melee slam weapon, and then just pressing their 4. If you want to do that, go for it. I think there's about 1,000 better warframes that are better for nuking than Equinox, but you know, world's your oyster, bro. Do whatever you want. Warframe, no wrong way of playing it, like I talk about. But let's get on to the night form version of this ability, which is Mend. So Mend, default thing, is going to be healing you. Or giving you shield on enemy kill, like we talked about. I love this. This is the reason why I love Cyanax. This is the reason why I love his 3. And this is a channeled ability, so this never goes down, so this is really easy to keep up, and you can see that it does overflow to your overshields. I love this. I love this so much. It's really awesome. And you can also see that's going to be saving up a number up top based off of damage I do to enemies. And remember, it's based off their health too, so it's scaling with level. What that's going to do is it's going to restore health and shield when I release it to allies and myself. Quite literally the most useless thing of all time, in my opinion. I think you'd be better off switching your Metamorphosis and then releasing it on Maim with the next augment. How about the fact that we didn't talk about Pacify and Provoke's augment? Holy shit, my videos are so buns. Okay. Let's talk about the 4th ability augment, and then we'll move back to the 3rd, and then we'll move on to Duality. There you go, guys. Okay. Energy transfer. Quite literally something that should be default on their kit for several things. Let's talk about some of the issues of Equinox kit. So when I cast my 3, let's say I want to switch forms, it's going to take off your 3. If I want to cast my 4 and I want to switch forms with this augment, it's going to actually let me keep it up. By default, that's going to cancel the ability, which is literally the worst thing ever. So this allows you to be in night form. Let's show this off real quick. Night form, building up shields while I'm doing damage. Really awesome. Get this extra layer of survivability. And then, like, look, I can switch my form. Holy cell. Okay. Then, look, I can, like, switch my form. And then I can, like, say new enemies are coming over. And then I can, like, release it all as a Maim, which is, like, really cool. It's awesome. Obviously, you would have a larger Maim, and you'd, like, one-shot a bunch of enemies. And you'd have a bunch of range and all that extra crap. But this is really nice, because this allows you to use Metamorphosis and not forego the nuking capabilities of Maim. Like, it's not going to be as strong as just building specifically for it, but being able to let out a nuke that's going to kill a full room every 30 seconds versus like every 10 is still pretty good. And I really like this augment. And I think it should be base kit, and I think it should also affect the 3rd, but it doesn't. Okay. Let's talk about the 3rd ability augment as well. The 3rd ability augment's actually really good. Pacify converts damage done to allies into an aura that slows enemies by 40%. Provoke converts damage done to enemies into an additional 15% ability strength. And that is also scalable with ability strength. So you can just get a ton. Okay, notably, as you can see right there, the ability strength is going to be limited on this, which we're gonna let's get that number for you guys real quick. I can't remember the exact number. I think, yeah, it's 50%. So it's 50%, but this allows you an additional 30% by using this augment. So if you want to use it for that, that's giving 80% ability strength to you and your allies, which is like really good. Not really good on Equinox. There's none of your abilities need ability strength. Um, other than your two for the damage, vulnerability, and speed increase. So if you're going for like a running gun build with just this, and you're going like day form, and maybe you're doing like a shield gating survivability build, this is like awesome. Uh, but otherwise, you know, I don't know. It feels like so ability strength is doing like nothing for your fourth. That's because like you see the damage multiplier of the damage that you absorb locked at 0.75. So I mean, sure you can buff that little aura, the damaging aura that you get when you walk into enemies, which is based off your radius, and same with your shield on kill. But that's like not that important. So ability strength is usually going to be a dump set on Equinox unless you're really wanting to take advantage of rest and rage, specifically rage for that damage vulnerability because it's a multiplicative damage buff. But yeah, um, unfortunately, this leaves us with duality. Not unfortunately. Shout out my goat. Shout out my goat. Right. You messaged too much. I'm just kidding. Shout out my goat Squish. Guys, Squish is the reason why this video is existing today. Squish, look in the description, has a War Thunder forum post. War Thunder, by the way. Yo, shut it down. Warframe forum post that you guys need to read about Duality. Squish has tested pretty much every single weapon in the game on Duality. And Squish has also found some really interesting ways of manipulating this Spectre's AI. Let's first off, let's just go ahead and show Duality. Duality, when you use Metamorphosis, is going to spawn in a Spectre for 10 seconds. This is moddable. And it's going to give them 300% weapon damage with your weapon. That is not moddable. Just the duration is. They have kind of priority targeting. They like flying enemies a lot, and enemies that are closer to you and that are like attacking them. They like Thrax. That's some of the stuff Squish said. But let's kind of get onto some of the weird stuff. Their accuracy is weird. Sometimes, like on weapons that are usually 100% accurate, they'll be missing on them. And then certain weapons, they'll be pinpoint accurate. Squish has done a lot of testing on this. I am going to talk about this more in the comments. If you guys want to ask about specific weapons, hopefully Squish and I can get to you guys on them. I don't think I can go over every single weapon here, and I don't think... I mean, I personally haven't tested them. Squish has. So if you want to join the Discord server and just say, like, hey, Squish, let's not at him. Like, let's respect his privacy and, like, not bombard him. But if you guys have a question, just, like, say, hey, Squish, and, like, they've been pretty good at responding to messages, so... Yeah, or just respond under the forum post, or use the many resources they have that talks about weapons, and maybe check out their YouTube channel. But another thing, this creature can take advantage of the incredible Summoner's Wrath, which is really great. If you don't know this about Summoner's Wrath, this is a roar buff, multiplicative buff to your companions. And this works on Duality. Here you go. Noticeable damage increase. As you guys can see. Pretty much instantly evaporating these enemies. Another thing that they can be buffed by, Total Eclipse and Roar as well. If you want to do something like that, you absolutely can. I like saving my helmet for other things. Other things that you can talk to Squish about. For me personally, I like using survivability. base helmets because sometimes I think the shield on kill maybe just isn't enough because I'm not building like shield tanking or anything. I mean, for base steel path, it absolutely is. At level cap, I enjoy something like Omamori. Uh, but another thing that Duality is able to do is take advantage of Heat Inherit. And through Heat Inherit, we are able to taxi Contagious Bond. Let me show what I mean by that. Because that probably sounds a little bit absurd and isn't going to make a lot of sense. I'm going to try to explain Heat Inherit in this. And I'm going to explain what's happening with Contagious Bond, but I'm not going to go too much deeper into like companion choices. I'm going to show a couple just to show that it works, but yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and do Exogok stats because we need something that strong that we aren't just going to kill immediately. Okay. Here we go. I press my 1 key. Now, you might be wondering what just happened there. So, on my companion, I have Contagious Bond. And on my companion, I am using Diriga's Arc Coil. Diriga's Arc Coil is going to take the elements that you have modded onto your weapon, and it is going to also spread it with it, which is really nice. On my weapon, I have heat. So, my Arc Coil is spreading heat. Let's see if I can show that off real quick. Don't think I need to. I mean, I don't think I needed to press my 1 is what I mean. Don't think I need to show it off. I'm trying to show it off. Let's show it off without maybe Contagious Bond. And we will be able to see this a little bit better because you're also going to see my Verglass is shooting too. But you can see these guys being lit up by fire other than the main target. That's all Arc Coil. And that's spreading heat procs. And basically, the way Heat Inherit works is you can take like the properties of the original heat shot, like the original shot with the heat status effect, and get like all the benefits of it. So like if you prime an enemy with a secondary and you have a heat mod on it and a bane, then you can switch to a primary that has heat on it and no bane and get full advantage of like the bane heat procs. I hope that makes sense. Like you're like it's exactly what it says in the name. It's like inheriting the good properties and the bad ones too. So like you want to make sure if you're using Heat Inherit, you're doing it in the right way. The problem is Heat Inherit is something that is always happening. It's not something you take advantage of. It is just part of the game. So kind of making sure you're getting good heat procs in the first place is pretty important. But yeah, let's switch back to Contagious Bond and see if this makes sense. You guys don't know how Contagious Bond works. When your companion kills an enemy afflicted by, with a status effect, 50% of the status effect spreads to other enemies within 9 meters with a max of 100 stacks. Max of 100 stacks per killed enemy. That means if there's like 10 enemies die next to one enemy, that enemy can get 1,000 heat procs. There's no limit to heat procs. That is why you're seeing stuff like this happen. Get Arc Coil. Wait, no, yeah, we're good. We have everything. Yeah, I mean, it's... Oh, did I blow, guys. There you go. It's incredibly strong. Let's talk about some other routes of doing this. The Hound. Got the Sandwich here. So the Sandwich should have on this weapon Did I sell? I think I sold. Was I using this one? I was using this one for some reason. So, as you guys can see, I have heat on this. I should also have lasting sting for status duration, but I don't. But basically this right here, Synergized Prospectus, is like a Diriga arc coil, but within 30 meters. Show this off real quick. There you go, and there's another ball right there. See if I can spawn in the enemies and it goes over to him. It does. Look, that should have heat on him now. Now if I press my 1. I mean, you're seeing damage cap right there. So, when I mean this works on, like, literally any source of getting heat procs, I mean it. We are taxiing Contagious Bond. So, as long as this companion is applying the heat procs, and then, like, the companion can finish the job. We're just using Duality to taxi that. We're trying to speed it up with Duality, which is the reason why we're using Phantasma, and we're trying to use weapons with, like, high status chance. There you go. In my personal experience, I just prefer Diriga. Hound is insane. Obviously, Hound survivability isn't great up high. That is why I prefer Diriga. You can even just use the Verglass on, like, let me show this off. So, like, you can just use the Verglass. I mean, you can use anything that's spreading heat. So you can just, I'm just going to show the Verglass here. I use it in so many of my other videos. Verglass with Contagious Bond, just like normal build with the worm. And when it attacks, so like, look, if I can get it. There you go. I mean, you're seeing it proc right there. This is extremely easy to proc. My companion build does not matter. The only thing that is important about this, and the thing to understand what is happening, is we are using Heat Inherit, and through Heat Inherit, we are taxiing Contagious Bond by using our Duality. And our Duality has like a Roar buff through Summoner's Wrath and 300% damage boost. So it's like we don't even have to play the game. Like, so that's just like kind of awesome. That's just like nuking that isn't even us. So that's like incredible. That's just our companion and our first ability. It's just like nice to be switching through anyways because we can get like shield on kill and build up like a nuke. So pretty great. I hope this slightly explains Duality. I'm gonna explain a couple more things. Like, gonna talk about some weapon choices. Mainly, conditional buffs do not affect this weapon, or do not affect Duality. That Spectre cannot take advantage of you building up galvanized stacks like a companion can with their weapon. The Spectre cannot take advantage of stuff like primary crux. It's not getting any bonus from this. If you use something like primary merciless, on the other hand, it has a flat buff, 30% reload speed. But the 30% damage on kill, that you do not get. So paying attention to what you have that is a conditional buff on your weapon is important. They can take advantage of Banes. They can take advantage of Shotgun Elementalists. They can take advantage of anything that's like a flat stat buff. But if there's something like on kill or like on this or duration-based effect, then it is not going to work. This is loosely explained on the wiki. Inherits most of the mods equipped on the player's warframe. Arcanes retain their passive effect on Spectre, but will not trigger temporary buff effects. There you go, and that also doesn't work for like mods with those effects as well. As you can see, Summoner's Wrath does affect this. Theorem Infection does too. If you want to do this, I mean, go for it. It's not my cup of tea, but I do actually enjoy using Kami Asato. Squish gave me a hard time for this. I listened to Squish. Squish is the Equinox main here. Been playing Equinox. Like, Okay. Gaz has like a video from way back in the day for Duality, and Squish was telling me like they made that happen. So, or like helped out with some of the research for that video. So Squish has been doing this for a long time. Nobody's really talking about Duality in the big 25, and there has been so many quality of life changes to make it just even stronger and allow you to do this crazy Heat Inherit into Contagious Bond nuke today. All by just using this mod on the Warframe, and that is it, which is just incredible. And Summoner's Wrath just expediting that even further. If you want to read more into this, there are some things here that are nice. You can see there's tips here talking about how it's nice with stuff like hit guns. Notably, I was kind of stupid with this at first for some reason. You do need to compensate for the fact that this duality augment is going to be using ammo. So on a weapon like the Phantasma, you do need to think about that. So if you were using primary crux and stopped using something for ammo before, this is not enough. You do need to bring vigilante supplies like and crux for yourself. Or just go the whole distance and bring like prime shotgun ammo mutation. I learned this the hard way at level cap. Definitely bring something for ammo more than just crux. It is going to consume the ammo whenever it reloads, and you'll just see it like get deleted from your max ammo capacity. Couple fun weapon options I will show off in probably future videos. Tenet Ferox. You can put it on Equinox, and it becomes like a turbo laser from Star Wars. There is the... You know what? Let's just show it, bro. Let's show it. I don't have the best build here, but we can just... You can kind of get the idea here. Like, is that not the coolest thing ever, or what? Like, I love that. Another really cool thing. Tomb Finger. Weapons that have, like, charge effects, they don't charge them fully. So weapons like the Static Core and the Tomb Finger, they're just going to rapid fire it. Really incredibly fun. Weapons like the Torrid. Torrid's an incredible option. You mod this sucker for heat, it's going to go stupid. Looks like we're just expediting the blast procs there. But as you can see, very strong. Right there, we're just getting the heat procs from our companion. And then spreading the other statuses with Contagious Bond. Because you can also do that. We don't even have to really utilize the Inherit there. Especially not at low level. Another couple weapons are going to be really fun. The Static Core. I just mentioned it. I love the Static Core. We've talked about it in one of the secondary weapon videos. Oops. Okay, that is the wrong weapon. Let's also take off my companion so we can like actually get an idea on what they're doing with the weapon. Sorry, guys. That was the Horrid once again. Okay, once again, spawning in enemies. Look at this, dude. They like rapid fire the Static Core. Is that not legendary or what? It also does a lot of damage. Okay, maybe not like a lot, but like you get the idea. These are like Exogok set officers, so this is honestly pretty impressive. Okay, why'd the first one die like instantly and then the other ones are like not getting destroyed? You get the idea. Static Core's pretty cool. Couple other weapons that are really cool. The dude, I really want to get the name right. Oh my gosh, it's the kit gun. It's the kit gun. It's the kit gun. It's yes, Spore Lacer. Spore Lacer goes kind of crazy. Spore Lacer's really fun. So is hold on. No, I think it was just a Sport Lacer. Yeah, Sport Lacer. I showed off Tomb Finger. That's my bad, guys. Uh, Another weapon that's really interesting, the Latum. They are like pinpoint accurate with the Latum from like very far away, like very far away, up to something I should have noted. They start targeting enemies at 200 meters away. 200 meters away. So like you can, if you are using one of the weapons that is 100% accurate, you can just go stupid with them. Like so stupid with them. Go off a couple more. Another interesting idea that Squish does is they use Scourge, and they use this to take out Demolist. So if you use something like the Tenet Spherex, it's a really strong weapon, and you use the Scourge, show off what that can look like. Well, it should be working on headshots. Yo. Okay, bro. For sure. All right, let's do this with the Vesper. This should work with the Vesper a little bit better because they use the Vesper as well. Something to note, though. Once again, conditional buff. Leaded rounds is not going to work. What is going to work that is really strong is something like secondary encumber. It's really cool. You can use this with something like the Tenet Cycron and something like the Kuba Nucor. And that is going to be really great for... oh my gosh, what am I doing, bro? This is why, bro. This is why I got so, like, iffy about these videos. Hit the head. Okay, basically just... Guys, what I'm trying to tell you guys, look at Squish's guide. Please. Please, respect the work that they have done to figure out all this stuff. I hope this was a little fun showcase, but, like, the videos that they have on offer... The fact that they've like tested every single weapon under the sun. There are so many interactions. Some stuff that I'm not going to really show in this video because I don't know if it should really get the spotlight on YouTube. But it's more something you guys should come across yourself and figure out how to use it yourself. But just take advantage of Squish's findings in the Discord server, on the Warframe forums. I probably said War Thunder again. GG's. Just please give it a go, guys. Any other weapons that are really interesting? Let me hold on. Sorry, guys. I think I made a list of ones I really at. Let's look at the Cycron. That is a battery weapon. I think this is one that's going to be really interesting and fun to use because it is a battery, and that means you don't have to worry about ammo at all. We use something like Encumber, not a Nervate. It cannot take advantage of a Nervate. With this really quickly. And then let's go ahead and spawn in. I mean, let's get my Diriga back. You can see that is quite strong. Now, there are a couple weapons in this game that this... Oh my gosh, yeah. So there's a couple weapons in this game that Duality is going to interact very weirdly with. Like, for some reason, they'll stop firing in the middle of it. They're going to be completely inaccurate with it. Like I said, Squish has some testing on this stuff. This is also just going to come from your own testing, figuring out what weapons work best for you. This Barothrix is really incredible if you incorporate grouping. I mean, new core. I mean, let's show off the new core. I mean, obviously, the new core is literally insane. I don't think I have a crit build on my new core, but I might. And if I do, guys... Oh, Lord. I do have a crit new core build on right now. Let's go Punch Room. And let's go for, like, status duration. This. Number. And let's actually just do status damage. Elementalist. This is absolutely, like, stupid strong. Like, just really strong. And the more statuses you put on these weapons, the better of a time you're going to have. And your screen gets filled up with more statuses, and it looks really awesome. So, yeah. Uh, that's Duality. I hope that made a little bit of sense, guys. This was shambles. This is the main reason why I like keep on redoing these videos. I don't know. I don't know how to show this off any better. Don't know how to talk about it too much better. Couple interesting things. Keeping your companion alive at level cap, like your Spectre alive at level cap. Azure and protective sling. Stuff like Cat's Eye on a companion does work to buff this. Uh, the Kompressa is really interesting. You can use it as like a insane shotgun that does stupid damage. The Strun is incredible at level cap. You can use your Self-D Incarnon mode while your Duality uses the base mode and does 5 billion damage per shot with it. Like, it's incredible. There is so much for you guys to discover on your own end, and if you just take the time to read what Squish has to offer, it's really amazing. I hope you guys were able to gather some of the stuff I said here. I know I was just bouncing everywhere, just saying stuff is amazing, stuff is cool, but I tried to explain stuff to the best of my ability. Just do remember, this does have a health bar, and it does have AI, and it's really goofy. But if you're constantly recasting, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Which, if you're like me, you will find yourself often recasting it to constantly have them proccing your contagious bond with Diriga. And this works through like any level of the game. This slams at level cap. I've taken it to like 3 level cap runs with people in the Discord server. We've got vouchers for that. It's literally incredible. First run, not great because like I said, I brought the Phantasma and had 0 ammo. But genuinely rather, incredibly fun. But let's get on to the build section of the video. How I like to play this Warframe. And this is a subjective part, as all of my videos are when it gets to this portion. I personally like using this build right here. Interchangeable things. I can switch this out for Calm and Frenzy whenever I'm just doing base level content. And if I'm going to level cap, that's when I like to throw on Rolling Guard. But this build has treated me fantastically. We're going to talk about my Archon Shards here in a minute, but we have Summoner's Wrath. This is giving a roar buff to our Duality. I have Kamiyasato to buff the movement speed of my Duality and of my companion if I choose to use a dog. Go for, I don't know, if I want to use my dog for rocking the Heat Inherent, you can absolutely do that. I just prefer using Diriga. It's going to be all up to you. We do have Prime Sure-Footed on this frame. This frame does not have a way of innate knockdown immunity. If you want to use Spellbind for that as your helmet, you can absolutely go for it. The ability that I found myself subsuming was the third ability. We talked about this not being something that stays up whenever you switch between forms. That means every single time you switch forms, which means every single time you pop Duality, you have to recast this. And if you have high duration on your Duality, you're going to be very disappointed because you're going to find them running into corners, not really doing a lot. Recasting this and getting them to focus on the targets that you actually care for is going to be the best play. So I found running 155% duration was perfect for me. Dumping strength, this is still helpful to have. So, I mean, I still enjoy casting my rage. And you can absolutely fit in blind rage when you want to use this over something like Vigilante Vigor. And you can use Calm and Frenzy. We do have Archon Stretch. This isn't doing anything because we always have our 4 up. If you want to switch this out for regular stretch, you absolutely can. I just kind of have it on for aura purposes. You know what's up. We do have Energize. This does help out with energy quite a bit. Not really something that you're going to need. But I just find it nice to have because I'm on 100% efficiency. And as you can see, I don't have flow or equilibrium. But as you remember from the passive, they do have equilibrium built in. And I buffed it up a little bit more with a purple shard. We have casting speed, 2 energy max shards, and a corrosive shard. Now, why do I have a corrosive shard? So reason why I have a Corrosive Shard is I find that spreading viral with my weapon is a little unnecessary, so I just have that outsourced to my companions, and I just set up my Duality with a Corrosive Heat set up on the Phantasma. And this has worked fantastically for me. Uh, you can even go for the full strip setup if you really want to. Uh, good thing is it's gonna kill anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I like there's so much stuff here that is just like you don't need it. Uh, this is the build I went for. As you can see, I don't have Galvanized Savvy on this. You want to swap this out for Galvanized Savvy, you absolutely can. If you want to swap out this, if you don't have Blaze, you absolutely can. You want to swap out Crux for something like Merciless, so then you get a buff on your Duality, you absolutely can. This is all subjective here. It's gonna kill anyways. The really fantastic part. Only thing I said like I'd recommend is bringing uh magazine capacity. Or bringing, not magazine capacity, my goodness, ammo pickups. You're gonna need it. Ammo pickups on the Phantasma for sure. I showed off some other weapons. If you guys prefer using those weapons for Duality, you can absolutely do it. I have just found the best success with Phantasma. But I just think that the new core and the Cycron are probably just way better with the Encumber setup. I am using the Kompressa with an Augur mod for a little bit of shield gating. We do get shield on kill as well. Uh, you can also literally just use your companion to prime enemies. So if you want to do that, there you go. And by companion, sorry guys, I keep saying companion instead of duality. If you want to use your duality for that, you absolutely can do that too. And then we're using El Rasha McQueen for movement speed and Matter Eye. That doesn't matter. We will talk about my Diriga because it's important to remember what you need to have on this build. Contagious Bond. Arc Coil. You don't need Arc Coil if you're going to mod heat onto your weapon and you're actually going to put on Assault mode. I have both here. But you can just run Arc Coil and then just make sure you have heat modded onto your weapon. A great weapon option is something like... I don't want to get the name of the weapon wrong. What's the name? Artax. Has an 8 cold, so you can get cold and heat on it, and then you can use Shivering Contagion, which allows you to more reliably spread your statuses and everything, so that's great. I just like using the Verglass because I get a ribbon for it, and I get to use Contagion Bond. So, yeah, that's my setup. For my companion, like I said, only thing that really matters is Contagious Bond and taking advantage of the heat inherit and making sure your companion weapon has heat on it. And that also just goes for Kubro Claws. That just goes for however you plan on spreading the statuses. I just found Diriga to be the best possible way for this personally because it's very reliable. Arc Coil's popping all the time. It's affecting multiple enemies. So if my duality happens to not target the exact enemy that I want it to, should be fine anyways because Arc Coil probably affected them anyways. I think this is it, guys. I know this wasn't really big focus on the build. We didn't talk about too much modding logic. High range, obviously really great for Maim. So when you release it, look, 42-meter radius. Omamori, we've talked about Omamori in other videos. Guys, this is giving like iframes. 50% of the time, you're just not going to take damage. It's really strong. Rest and Rage, we talked about it in the video. Hopefully this makes sense why we have these stats are also nice for this. And Metamorphosis is here for duality, and we have duration for duality, but not overbearing amounts. Energy transfer, obviously, because we're switching between modes a lot. Rolling guard to get rid of statuses at level cap and to give you yourself some iframes. You should technically have iframes 30% of the time if you're keeping this up all the time, so that's like insane. And you combine that with Omamori, and Fast Deflection, Vigilante Vigor, and the Augur mods, and Shield on Kill, and you just have stupid survivability. Guys, this was a rough video, but let's get into the gameplay. This was a rough video. Let's actually look. How long is this video right now? Holy guacamole, we're at the hour mark. Guys, it's another movie. And it's worse. It's worse than the mag video. fully accepting that. Fully accepting that this video is going to be a disappointment to Squish and to myself and to the viewers. You know, guys, at this point, I've just got to embrace it. I hope this opens you guys up to like a beautiful reality of Equinox has another way of playing them than the boring ass nuke build, because I hated Equinox before that. Like what before I figured this out, like I hate Maim. I hate Maim. I hate the way it works. I don't like it. You know, bro, to each their own. Um it's not for me, dude. It's not for me.
I'm sending auxiliary life support.
I mean, like, you're just gonna see them like killing people anyways, like here. Like we're not, I don't even think we're gonna get the enemy density where we're gonna get to see this to go crazy here. But you know, maybe we will. Oh, there we go. Spreading a little bit. Didn't spread too far. Crazy sim gameplay. Oh, here we go. Nice. There you go. Getting it to spread, cascade a little bit there. But like this is just kind of showing off how good the survivability is. Like having a Spectre just out all the time to kind of take fire away from you, who's going to be firing, I feel like, more often than you. It's just like really nice because that's even more survivability as well. I'm also getting like a shield capacity buff, which is buffing my shield gate whenever I'm switching to my night form. There's rolling guard. It's really easy. It's really incredible. You can see all this crap happening down here. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Like I'm not even firing my weapons, guys. This is I mean, right there, I just fired a little bit, but you get the idea. You get what I'm trying to say here. I mean, there you go. Obviously, people can just say you can just do this with Contagious Spawn anyways, but having a way to taxi it at high levels of gameplay, because the Verglass stops killing at a certain point, is incredible. And you can see when it is the Phantasma, because you're going to see those radiation procs get added in as well. Corrosive procs. The survivability is great. We took him into Void Cascade level cap. I didn't try Disruption level cap, but from what I've seen, Squish has. Squish showed me some just Disruption gameplay anyways. Really fascinating stuff. You can even get the Duality to kill at level cap in Disruption. Just really interesting. Really crazy alternate player route. And if you look right now, guys, you can see I have a fat buildup on my Maim, and I can just release this and kill all the enemies within 42 meters. And then cast it again, load it back up again. You can cast that way more often, but I just kind of like using it random times. I mean, we're keeping up basically 80, 90 KPM. And we're not even really casting... I mean, we're not even shooting our weapon. We're just like kind of casting abilities and letting our little dude kind of do everything for us. Our duality. Instead of me saying like little dude and like companion instead of just saying duality, like 90% of the time, that's pretty awesome. Shout out little dudes. Pretty cool. Oh, there you go. Nice. But yeah, guys, I hope this video was like okay. I hope this brings new light to Equinox. This shit just kind of blows, guys. Like this video just sucks. I'm fully aware. I think I'm hating on myself a little bit too much, but like I knew I wasn't gonna hit the mark. Like I just like if I make a duality video, if I make a build video, I'm just like not getting to explain everything about Equinox, and I don't really want to do another video on Equinox anytime soon because this is a Warframe I'm particularly passionate about. I do find this interaction incredibly cool, but this is not something that I found myself. This is more like trying to do justice the fantastic research that Squish has done, which I know I did not do today, but hopefully I can get some more people using it. And I'll probably post a YouTube short on I think I might post a YouTube short on like Duality edited. That's not going to be soon, but it'll happen because like I want to just show off Duality and get more people using it. And I think that makes Squish happy. Uh, and it would make me happy because I think that's like this is some incredible stuff that's just been hidden for like no reason. I don't know why nobody's talking about this. I think it's incredibly interesting. A really cool way to build. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna die. Just kidding. More saves my life. I love acolytes.
When you are ready, go to extraction.
As you guys can see, it's like hard to die. Like I don't think I could be playing any worse. But yeah, there you go. There is some Duality, Equinox, deep dive, BS, no propaganda, just slop. Guys, this video sucked. If you watched the whole thing, really appreciate it. Squish, I thank you so much for bringing this to me. I knew I wasn't gonna do it justice. I've definitely done enough takes to the point where like with the style of content I like to post, this is the best I can do. I will probably do a better video in the future when I'm putting more effort into content. But for now, this is the best I can offer. Uh, I would like to do a deeper video into this in the future as I learn more about it myself. But honestly, I just feel like a baby learning this for the first time. So hopefully I was able to explain Heat Inherit. Uh, and you guys were able to see how that works with this amazing augment. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate the kind words on the last video and in the Discord server. Things have just been really crazy, and I wasn't expecting that to happen. Like everything it did. Uh, just a lot of stuff in my family, a lot of stuff with my personal health, and it was just like a crazy cascade, all at the same time as my classes ramped up. So I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Uh, whenever you guys see this, just thank you guys, and yeah, have a good one.